hey, I need that bucket. In fact, I need 2 of them. I just got a call, and in 30 minutes, company is going to show up at this place. And I've got to clean this entire room in a half an hour. Now, nothing will tell you need cleaning like moving a picture. Cleaning that right will save your reputation. It'll save repainting. Now, let's go get the things we need to get started. In preparation to do those walls, we have our 2 trusty Rubbermaid containers. This one is half full of water. This one is empty. 2 containers, one half full of water. This is empty. And now, I'm going to use an all-purpose cleaner, one like Spick and Span. Be sure and read the directions. They know what they made and how to use it better than you do, so read and I'll tell you how much to dilute it, take that off, but just what it says. Don't try to make your own home brew either, it doesn't work. Okay, move it out, pick your buckets up, and walls look out. We're ready to go. Now remember, 2 Rubbermaid roughneck buckets. This one has cleaning solution in it, and this one is empty. 2 buckets. Okay, now I have my cleaning cloth, and I have a Rubbermaid cellulose sponge. Now get one that fits your hand, okay? Now here we go. You dip it in the solution. If you dip it about a 1/4 inch in like that, you can hold it above your head all day. It won't run down your arm and down your back and in your shoes. Ready to go, and on the wall I do. Now remember, I always start from the top and work down. I don't start from the bottom, work up like the old wives' tales. Now look what's happening. So that's detergent diluting that stuff and taking it off the wall. Great. That's all I'm doing now is taking that stuff off, and see it's all coming off, and then I take my towel and I just wipe that, and it's perfectly polished and won't streak now. Notice all the dirt and things from the wall is in that. I go to my bucket and I squeeze. Now you don't wring a sponge, just squeeze it, okay? And my sponge is perfectly clean. Then I go, dip it in the bucket again, like this, back to the wall again, and again I go like that. Take about an area that you can clean pretty easy so it won't dry. See that? See how that comes right off? Your sponge will just pick most of that dirt up. See how it takes most of the dirt off? And then you're just polishing with your towel when you finish. Look at that. It comes perfect. Again, back to the empty bucket. Squeeze it in there. That way your solution never gets dirty. When I finish this wall, this solution, I'll do 4 rooms in this house. It's 1 bucket of solution. This water will be perfectly clean. When I finish this house, all the dirt in the house will be in this bucket. Really, really works, and it's fast, and I just can't wait. And I'm going to do this in 30 minutes, probably even quicker. Oh, the phone. You're not going to be here for 30 more minutes? Hey, that's fine. We'll see you then. Boy, that's time to do the whole house. Now, you know, I did the wall in 30 minutes. You didn't think I could do that. Well, I can clean this whole house almost as fast. Now, by now, some of you have guessed that I have kind of an inner love for housework. Well, I do. I'm Don Aslett, America's #1 cleaning expert. I started a cleaning business about 34 years ago, hired 1 student, 2 students, 20, then 100, and cleaned houses for all those years going to college. About 10 years ago, I wrote a book called Is There Life After Housework? And I'm here to tell you there is life after housework if you learn to do it easy and right. And you're watching this video to learn to do that faster, easier, better, and cheaper. And everybody keeps saying, how does everyone else do it? Well, that's how they do it. Better tools, better methods, better timing. And speaking of timing, one of the biggest problems in cleaning is waiting. Hey, if I wait a little while, it'll get better. I mean, things start sticking when you wait. For example, the dishes, hey, I'll do them tomorrow, the next day. If you let the dishes wait instead of doing them right after the meal, it takes longer because the food hardens. It's unhealthy because bacteria develops, which causes unpleasant odors and can attract unpleasant little bug critters. A quick and easy way to clean your dirty dishes is with Dawn, the best dishwashing liquid available for removing grease. Independent tests against other leading dishwashing liquids found Dawn to be highly effective for cutting through grease and cleaning Rubbermaid Serve and Savor containers. So Dawn is recommended by Rubbermaid. It is so good at cutting grease that you can use it as a laundry pre-treatment. In this video, I will share with you some quick ways to get the job done. Then you will have more time to do the things you want to do. Now, there are 4 basic laws to cleaning. Eliminate, saturate, dissolve. And sometimes dissolve means a little agitation, then you remove it. 75% of cleaning is done with the head and not with the hands. 75% of soils removal is done by helpful cleaning products and tools, and not by the old elbow grease. You eliminate by sweeping, dust mopping, or brushing. Wipe all dirt, gravel, crumbs, and other loose material from any surface you might be servicing. Saturate by applying the cleaning solution generously to the dirty surface, then let it set. Dissolve by letting the liquid and the chemical action of the cleaner loosen the dirt. Remove with a sponge, cleaning cloth, or squeegee, and get rid of the mushy residue. Unless you really enjoy grinding and beating and scrubbing off soils, hey, let's do it the easy way. You know, as a pro, I really love spray bottles. Water is free. I mean, fill that thing with water, whatever you have to do, and then use concentrates. Concentrates are cheap, great cleaners. You know, one thing I really like about a spray bottle is it's great for the environment. These aerosols are really cluttering up our environment. These things can last years and years. Now you can spray the cleaner on and it'll wait a while, let it do the work, spray some more. Go feed the birds, do anything, let it work. Work with your head, not with your hands. Now there's basically 4 cleaners that you can use in this. 4 separate cleaners you can use in spray bottles. Neutral cleaner, like spick and span, can be used for almost any type of cleaning. It won't damage surfaces, even wood, because its pH is neutral. It's neither acid nor alkaline. A disinfectant cleaner for bathrooms, other areas needing germicidal action, but only a quaternary neutral type. It's non-toxic and won't damage most surfaces. A commercial wax stripper and degreaser for removing wax and for tough cleaning jobs where grease is a super problem. An evaporating alcohol-based cleaner for cleaning small windows, polishing mirrors, appliance, tile, chrome, and other reflective type surfaces. When using any kind of a cleaner, commercial or household, read the label. Don't sniff or taste it. There was a study that showed that the average woman walked around 20 miles a day doing housework and related housework. I bet you could believe that, couldn't you? One of the reasons is because their stuff is spread all over. Isn't this a great idea? Find a place like this and a nice convenient hanger to do that right into your sink so you have everything right where you need it. Now we're going to do windows. Look at this. I have my Rubbermaid bucket, I have my squeegee, I have my cellulose cloth, my sponge, and my dishwashing liquid. We're ready for those windows. We're out of here. How many of you just love to clean windows? Well, the reason you don't is because we're still cleaning them anciently. We buy this window cleaner that guarantees, and we spray it on, and we go, snort. Man, and we say, this is almost a moral experience. We spray some more on, and away we go, and everything else. Then the sun comes up. What do you have? Streaks. Man, we read on the can, no streaks. We try it again and again. It doesn't work. This stuff makes windows thicker, and it leaves a grease film on windows. It does not work. Get rid of your aerosols. It helps the environment. It will help you clean windows. Okay, how many have ever seen one of these before? How many's ever tried one of these before? How many's had great luck with one of these before? Well, the reason you didn't have one of these, you had one of these. This is not a squeegee. This is a communist conspiracy to ruin American housewives. This thing was made to poke down the bread and lead the music and scratch your back. This will not clean windows. Chuck that thing. You got your squeegee, you can go down to Janitor Supply Store for about $9, get one of these. It will last you probably the rest of your life. You'll love it so much you wear as a brooch to church. You'll love it more than your dishwasher. Okay, the next thing you do, I get my roughneck bucket, I put some water in, doesn't matter whether it's hot or cold, and I'm ready to go. Now, what do I use in that water? Well, all of you are saying, vinegar, vinegar, vinegar. Vinegar is not a cleaner. I mean, there's dog slobbers and there's grease. Vinegar won't cut that. We use a thing called X2161B-1000. That's what most professionals use, but translated, it's just Dawn dishwashing detergent. Amazing that this is just a miracle cleaner. I mean, 9 out of 10 window cleaners use dishwashing detergent. Now, there's a real interest in here of what makes it work. Well, the big reason is it doesn't work very well is that most of us say if a little does well, a lot will do better. That's like saying if a teaspoon of baking soda makes your biscuits raise up, put a cup in there and those hummers will really come up. So we take the lid and go glug, 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 you know, and all these suds come up. Wrong. That's what's been your problem. You open this lid up just a tiny bit and you use just a snort or a snidge bit, as we call it, just a touch. In fact, this one little quart of Dawn will last you probably 25 years to do your window, okay, because it's a degreaser. Okay, you've mixed it up, your solution's ready to go. Now, before we start, let me show you one more thing. If your squeegee has been the reason is the blade is dry. Now, I can use a cloth or I can use my cellulose cloth, my Rubbermaid cellulose cloth, and you can dampen this. Okay, dampen it in the water and wring it out, and then you wipe your squeegee blade, which lubricates it, and the squeegee goes really skids along quick. Okay, you can put the water on the window, super easy with a sponge, or I prefer using a window wand. Here we go. We're talking about for this great big giant window, we're talking just a few seconds. Now see this dishwashing liquid has set on there. It's a degreaser, so it's cutting the surfactants or cutting the grease, all that stuff. Now don't pull the squeegee down, because if you do, you get a big streak. Wipe it once and lean the squeegee off the window like this. See this? And go right across the top and clean a dry area. See what I did? I got rid of all those drips. Wiped it, went right across the top. It's perfectly dry. Then, with my cellulose cloth, I wipe my squeegee blade, put it in a dry area, and down I come. Perfect. Not a streak. Quick as a cat. You just can't believe what that will do. Don't worry about any stuff that's left on there, because the way you diluted your detergent will dry, and you'll never see it. Across the bottom, Your window's clean. I'll tell you, that window is clean perfectly. If you have a giant window, company's coming fast, we're talking about seconds. Here we go again. I mean, we're talking about a 10-foot window in the front. Squeeze it down like that. You're going to enjoy this. Go across the top like that with your squeegee. Now look at this. This is called fanning. You can do it. Put on your window, go da-da-da-da-dump, da-dump, da-dump, da-da. See, get your aerobics in. You can quit aerobic class because you can just do that. One ways right across the bottom. The windows are clean. If you have a little drop left on your windows, use your bare hands. The grease and oil is out of your hands now. You can take your bare hand and you go and get any little drop out. Really psychs out your neighbors. Any little areas along the edge, leave it. No one will ever see it. Man, now I can see my outside inside. Let's go get the rest of the house. And now for the eternal question of cleaning. Do you dust or do you vacuum first? You're right, you dust. The reason you dust first is because, remember all those little pieces of lint and pieces of plant, bug bodies, and fingernails people hide that are big chunks of stuff? You knock those off on the floor when you dust, and the vacuum get them later. Now, I love for dusting two different tools, my Rubbermaid acrylic static attract duster and my Maslin cloth. And another thing I've learned to do while dusting is a lot of dust is below the 3-foot level, and we seldom dust low. Now look at this. The baseboard, for example, when I go across that like that, look how that picks that off. Look at that. It really is amazing how much dust you'll pick off low, and it holds it. It isn't like a feather duster. You know, a feather duster flips it all over. This stuff holds it, and you got it when you go. Okay, now use your judgment. Go up on top of the pictures and get those and get the bottom. And this is why these little static attract things are so good. Look what they do. They get right down in, and they knock all that stuff off. All those bug bodies, remember, they're all off. And away you go. You can just hit areas to dust. And my favorite is that, you know, a house gets 40 pounds of dust and dirt a year. 40 pounds. And most of it's floating around. It gets with the cooking oil and it sticks. So before it sticks, you've all seen your vents. See these vents right up here like that? Nothing beats the acrylic static attract duster to get those because it has more static than the vent. Now to hit both ways. See, go both ways like this, back and forth, back and forth. Now it isn't there. It's here. And this long-lasting problem of the mini blinds, or the Venetian blinds, that stuff will get on. It sticks like glue, doesn't it? Hit that pretty often. That's all you have to do. The duster's picking it up all the way up and down. And the cobwebs, you don't see any there, do you, anymore? It got them. It's captured them. All the areas you can come across like that, you've picked all the dust up. You've got it, man. It's with you all the way. Everything you see high. You hardly have to get a ladder. 5 or 6 minutes. And if you want to be further enlightened, there you go. You just go around the top of the light. You've picked it all off. Now that we've intelligently captured most of the dust, the bug bodies and all the stuff that ends up on your carpet, it's time for the vacuum. Now, you know, vacuums are your personal choice, and I just love an upright. You know, those cancers like dragging a dead pig through the house to me, but whatever you choose is okay, but learn to vacuum a few intelligent ways. And one thing is, you can't believe, folks, what people will vacuum over. I mean, there's toys. I mean, our kids have 75% more toys than they need. Pieces of plastic that's come off things. Hairbreadths, Lego toys, coins, TV knobs, I mean, all this stuff. We think that if the vacuum is big enough we can get over it, it's fair game. Wrong. It ruins your vacuum. I have found, believe it or not, forks. I haven't found a hammer yet, but I found forks in vacuum cleaners. So clean all the heavy debris, put it in your pocket, or set it aside. Now, you know, a real important thing on a vacuum, you're going to notice something, is as I'm up here, you see how my hand goes under that vacuum? That's where the air comes in to make a vacuum work. Okay, if there's no place for the air to come in, the vacuum won't work. I don't care if it can suck up a piano bench. It doesn't make any difference if the thing can't get air. So it's what we do. We start out and we hear a vacuum with thunk, thunk, so we adjust it and let it go down lower and lower and lower. And pretty soon is what we do. We press it down there so tight that no air comes under our vacuum. Therefore, it isn't working. We're making nice patterns on the carpet, but we're not vacuuming things. So set it up to where your vacuum just goes beep, 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 just right. Now remember another real important thing down in this carpet, the thing that really counts. All the stuff that ruins your carpet, the little BBs and the little rocks and all the little things are all right down in that carpet. And when you walk on them, it cuts your carpet. So that's why you use a vacuum cleaner to pick all these out. Because see, you can't see all that, but see how dusty? That's all down in your carpet. The most important thing on any vacuum, upright or canister, that you'll ever have is a thing called a beater bar. A beater bar is that thing right there. It goes around and it goes beat, 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 agitate, tate, tate. It beats it and agitates, and that's what it should do, and it just barely hits the carpet. Make sure it's going the right way, back into you. If it's going the wrong way, it'll kick stuff ahead, and it's like herding cows through your living room. You'll never catch it. Make sure your beater bar works. That's what makes a good vacuum. Okay, we're ready to go. Also, when you vacuum, if you'll hold the cord out in your hand like this, you'll keep it from raking the flowers off and catching the dog's neck and everything else. Keep it out and hold it in your hand and grab this hand on the vacuum. Now here's the big important thing in doing vacuum. I'm going to vacuum this for you. You watch what I do. The speed you go is really important. Turn the vacuum on. Now watch this. This is the right speed to vacuum. See this? Just take it easy. But a lot of us think if we go faster and we really go and go over the same place again, it's better. But it is not better. This is a time that going slower is faster. So take your time, cover each area. Let me tell you another really important area that we all get lost on and we spend all our time fighting. It's the edges. We get over the edge and we really worry about this edge. I mean, there's dog hair in there and there's Rolade packages and all sorts of gruesome things along that edge. And we try to get our vacuum right up against there tight and we beat up the baseboard. Wrong. Look at this. See, try to walk up close to the wall and look what happens. Your arm gets in the way. You can't get any closer to the wall than that unless you're a weirdo and you walk along, walls like that. The boards don't creak, by the way, if you're sneaking in. Walk along the edge of the wall. What we find out we do, and only once every 3 months, whatever you get the dust in your house, a nice angler, and I love nylon brooms. Okay, an angler, got the angler broom, just hit that before you vacuum. See that, how that goes? Man, that thing is just clean and nice. That's a non-depreciable area, see? It doesn't stink or doesn't smell, just sweep it, and then vacuum your carpet, and it will really happen. Let me tell you another thing that we don't think about vacuuming sometimes. We get the carpet, but remember, this seat gets a lot of dust and everything on it. How do you vacuum that? The very same way. Lift your vacuum up as you're going along and go across the top of your upholstery. Yes, you vacuum upholstery. That beater bar will beat the dust out of it. It takes just 1 or 2 times, and you'll have a real clean set of upholstery, and you'll have the dust off that, off the floor. Okay, if you just put those few adjustments on vacuuming I've just showed you, your vacuum will cut down about 30%. Now, no matter how much you vacuum and how loyal you are and how regular you are and everything else, your carpet's gradually going to get dirty, and it's a time that we have to shampoo the carpet. Now, I've heard an old saying that says, never shampoo your carpet once, because if you do, it'll get dirtier faster next time. That's kind of like saying, never wash your socks or your underwear once, because if you do, they'll get dirtier the next time. See, it's what happened in the old days when we used to shampoo carpets. We left a lot of water and soap and stuff in the carpet. We couldn't recover it. We didn't have extraction, and therefore it was sticky. You'd pull stuff off your shoes. I mean, your kids would stick to it. That isn't so today. We have new carpet cleaners that work a lot better than that. In fact, folks, if I was going to do my carpets and need shampooing, I'd probably call a professional. And I would check somebody who'd been in business about 5 years and maybe can give you a bid on there and have them do hot water extraction. It cleans carpets really well. If you're going to do it yourself, which 70% of people still clean their own carpets, you're going to the grocery store, let me give you one professional bit of advice that will really help you. I dilute a little Dawn dishwashing liquid in. It's a great detergent to clean. Put a little tiny bit in a bottle, make a spray bottle. I'm doing a thing called pre-spraying. Now, you know all that grease on top of your refrigerator, when you try to clean it, rolls up like little mouse droppings? That's all over your rug and all over your kitchen floor. That's why your shoes stick to the floor sometime and you can't make it through. It's what you got to do is release that so it'll be picked up easy. So adjust your nozzle to a mist. Okay, we adjust it. And then go right over your floor and just pre-spray. Now, see what's happening? That stuff is just wetting the top of that airborne grease. Just moisten that. And when you get through, 5 minutes time, 5 cents, and you got your whole carpet, it'll clean it 50% better. Because now when your extractor comes over, it'll just wash it out because it's dissolved. Do that. I promise your carpets will be so nice everybody will want to sit on the carpets instead of your couches. Let's get the rest of it. The floors, more than any place in your house, reflect the overall beauty and the cleanliness level of your house. You've gone downtown and seen the banks, the supermarket that just seem to glow and beautiful shine. Yours can be exactly like that if you use some professional techniques, and you can do it with some home tools. Now, there's some labor-saving, long-handled cleaning tools, just a super investment. I recommend having several, like good brooms, a dust mop, a sponge mop, a wet mop, even a good mop bucket. And when you look at a floor, I guess you can really make a choice, like brooms. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can go. I happen to like the flagged end, or you call them split tips, kind of a magnet. And I don't know, they're just strong, and they get these Cheerios that are glued down to the floor, and these apricot seeds and all this other stuff. And you can actually sweep a floor. We've all done that a lot. But as you pull it, you always sweep towards you like this. And that's why I like a strong nylon broom. When you get there, always keep with your dustpan, by the way, folks. Always keep, there's an important thing you have, is keep a little what we call a counter brush with your dustpan. That's for the little final kick like that, where the brooms, you know how they always spread it around like that? Look at that, every crumb. Take it over, and we can get rid of it. Now, just in case you want to use what is a favorite also is a dust mop. Now, dust mops are just great to use in house. I mean, just great. There's one thing we don't do. We forget that we need to treat these dust mops. And the way to treat a dust mop is, I just use plain old furniture polish or Indust or one of them, and you just spray. See what you do like that? You just spray it like that. Now, be pretty generous with that, okay? But now don't use it. Once you're through, don't use that or you'll grease up your floor and you'll fall. Leave it. Take a plastic bag, put over the top of that like that, and leave it all night. Okay, have you got that? And when you come back in the morning, all of that furniture polish will be permeated all the way through those fabrics, and man, it'll just clean your floor like mad. Let me tell you another thing not to do. Once your dust mop is in good working order, never lean it against the wall to store it. You're going to have a dust mop Rembrandt on your wall. And never set it down on a floor, because a lot of times it'll suck the polish out. So always store your dust mop back. You always have one of your little Rubbermaid hangers just perfect to do this. Okay, you got your dust mop ready. Let's put it back in here so it can be ready to go in the morning when we're ready to use it. Now, you have your choice. After you sweep a floor after a while, it gets kind of what we call a buildup on it. Floor gets a real bad buildup, and your shoes kind of start sticking to the floor a little bit, and you wonder, man, I got to get this off. Plain water won't do it. So something you have to do is mix up a little solution in a bucket. Now, for some reason, I found that something like neutral cleaner, like Spick and Span, just put a little tiny bit in some water like that. You don't need very much because we're just going to do what we call damp mopping, okay? And I have a lot to select from. I think, man, I'll select a tool like this. I kind of like these sponge mops for the small houses, okay? Set a broom out of the way. Now, damp mop means not the floor is necessarily damp, but the mop is damp. And there's two important things you do when you damp mop. Now, here's the big mistake most people make. They go over it once, and it looks clean, and they say, clean. But it isn't clean. The first time over, what happens is just a wetting agent. So you go over your floor once like this. See what I've done? You think it's clean, but it's not. You're just sitting there, and you're dissolving. When you go back, dip again, squeeze it. And whatever you do, folks, go over the area one more time. This is what really cleans it up. Trust me. As we go over that, now this is called damp mopping. You have to do this sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, depending on how many bottles of milk or how many pieces of spaghetti fell on the floor. Damp mopping. Now, as you see, this floor is pretty bad shape. I mean, it's had some pretty hard use, and it's getting really bad. We're going to have to do a thing we call scrub this floor. And scrub is just one step up from mopping. We got to get a little more aggressive. So I'm going to use basically the same stuff. I might put just a little more neutral cleaner in there, just a tidge bit more in there, okay? Now I've got to get the water out on the floor, and I think the easiest way to do that, I told you I had a great selection of mops over here. You really do. I kind of like just a plain string mop. You put the string mop in the water like this. Now the idea we're trying to do is just to spread all the water nice, and you just kind of lay it, kind of in a figure 8, just like a sailor. Just lay it right out there. You got that? Now, you think you're cleaning the floor psychologically because it's wet, but not so. You're just putting it on there. Now, you notice we've saturated. It's dissolving. Isn't that great? Now, generally, a lot of floors, you could just pick it up, but not this one. This is pretty solid, so we have to do a thing we call scrub this floor. And again, I'm going back to this nice Rubbermaid scrubbing strip mop. Look at that. There's a nice little strip on there, a little nylon. I just love nylon. It's so much better brushing. It's just a nylon scrubby, and I'm ready to go. When I go out on the floor, there I go. I take that little nylon, and here I go. I knock those little, see that Cheerio come up? Right up there, dead ant, he's up. Okay, there's a raisin, he's up. See, as you go around, get close to the edge, just keep pulling it up like that. It's called scrubbing a floor. A lot of satisfaction in doing this, you're going to find out. It doesn't take very long, and notice something, I haven't got on my knees yet. Everything, that's the great thing about having long-handled tools like this. It's just, and they always say never trust a maid with clean knees. Well, you're going to have clean knees from now on, you can really trust them, all right? Now, when we get to this point, this is where the work starts, because there's all these smashed apricots and coat slobbers, and everything's in that floor, and you got to mop it. Wrong. The quick way to do it now, I just take an empty bucket, set out here. I get a tool that I've used a long time as a professional, a squeegee. Yep, you squeegee your floors. I mean, it's so quick and it's so easy. Look at that. Cleans your floor and just leaves it perfectly clean. Just reach with your squeegee, hit it once. So squeegee, hit it once. Now you see what's happened? All of that dirty, filthy water, all of that gunk, it's just kind of looks like pig swill. There it all is. Now suddenly, you've got here in a corner a whole pile of gunk. Now what do you do with this? Somebody says, squeegee down your heat vent. No, I had a lady in Las Vegas once say, I pick it up with my turkey baster. But wrong. The easy way to get it up, and I'll tell you, my little Rubbermaid dustpan is the neatest thing I have ever seen. Look at this. One swipe of that thing, you've taken almost every bit of that dirt right up. You haven't had to get down into it. I get my little, I love this little roller mop. I dip that down in, that little roller mop down in there, and you can just take all the rest of that stuff right up. Just absorb that stuff, and the floor's all clean. Now, after I get the floor all cleaned, it looks really great, but you know the alkalinity in the stripper has left a little film on there. So I'm going to get my roller mop again, and you see how this works? I'm going to take a little, I'm going to take a little bucket of plain water and I'll put a little vinegar in this water. Stick my roller mop in there. Now, vinegar's not a cleaner, but it's a rinsing agent. I'm going to roll it out like this, and then I'm just going to basically go right over this floor, and that vinegar water will neutralize that floor, which makes the wax just stick on there like glue, and it won't peel off, and it won't powder, and it won't yellow, and it'll just stay right in there. You see what? I swept it, and I scrubbed it, and we squeegeed it off, and then we rinsed it. And I'm telling you, that floor is clean, and that floor is ready now to put some protection on. Now, a lot of people say, well, I have a no-wax floor. Well, a no-wax floor is like a no-wash dish. It doesn't exist. All floors need a finish on them, and here's what a finish is. When you put wax or finish, it's just like putting a membrane down on your floor, so when you get black marks and chair marks and everything else, you can clean them off the top of the wax, and they don't get on the floor. You ever notice how your floor, when you get a black mark, you take it off and you always have those dull spots on there? You're going to prevent that. You're going to wax it. To wax the floor, just by some plain ordinary wax, and I would probably go get one of my little sponges, clean it out really well, and I just pour my wax on the floor, and I would apply my wax just like you were damp mopping, really careful. Now remember something, this edge is a bad place. It gets a buildup. You can't walk any closer to the edge than this, remember that? So one light coat on the edge, and then the rest of the wax, hold back like this away from it, and your floors, I'm telling you, your floors will be gorgeous. And if you got other floors in your house, you know, this happens to be a tile floor, a linoleum floor, a vinyl floor, I treat them all the same, even wood floors. You know, wood's a great, great product, and water won't hurt wood if it's only on there just for a minute. So if you can damp mop this, you can put finish, you can do a lot of things with wood, but just don't let it set a long time till it soaks in. Treat all your floors that way, and I'll tell you, when people come to your house, I mean, man, you can have everything looking bad, but if those floors shine, they say, wow, this is great. We love to be here. Since we're here in the kitchen, this would be a good time to show you how to clean your appliances quicker and easier. Take a minute every day to whisk off your appliances, and you'll save hours of drudgery. But to get them clean the first time, if you've been neglecting the job, here's a smart and fast way. And here's my advice. Don't use abrasive scouring cleaners, metal scrapers, or harsh steel wool, or abrasive nylon scouring pads on your appliance. These will damage enamels, stainless steel, and plastic surfaces. Use a solution of heavy-duty cleaner or a grease cutter in a spray bottle. A non-abrasive gentle action scrubber and a drying towel will remove the scum. To clean under and behind appliance, just use a Rubbermaid puff duster or a banister brush, but unplug the appliance first, strictly as a precautionary measure. For stoves, take the burner pans out and put them in hot sudsy water while you clean the rest of the appliance. Clean the top, back, and sides of your stove. Be sure to rinse the pad well in hot water, or the greasy lumps will harden it. For your ovens, apply oven cleaner and then wait. Important to wait. Let it work. After the gunk is loose, wipe it off with a paper towel because it's real gunky. If it all doesn't come off, don't start scrubbing. Just apply another coat of oven cleaner and wait longer. It will loosen the rest, and you can take it out, wipe that out with a towel. Be sure to put on your Rubbermaid rubber gloves and make sure there's plenty of ventilation. For refrigerators and freezers, first unplug the unit and then empty it. Then mix 3 ounces of ammonia and disinfectant cleaner to 3 gallons of water in a bucket. Using a soft version of the Rubbermaid scrubber, the white nylon, wash the interior, sponging off the hardened food, and then buff dry with an absorbent cloth. For stove hoods and exhaust vents, you should first check the manufacturer's instruction if there is any. Take off the grill and filter and unplug the unit, then soak it in hot sudsy water for as long as it takes to dissolve the grease. Clean off the sticky, fuzzy grease with a paper towel and with a spray degreaser. Be careful not to wet anything electrical or spray anything up into the motor. Dry everything thoroughly, replace or clean any filters there may be, and reassemble. There. Now just a wipe with a diluted detergent on a cellulose sponge every day will keep them gleaming. The proper tools and supplies are again important when we go into another area of the house, the bathroom. The secret to bathroom cleaning is to watch the hotel and motel maids. You know, they do those things in 3.5 minutes, and they have that little cart, and you've always enviously looked at that as it's rolled in there with all those goodies in there that cleans with. You can have the very same thing in your own house. At my house, I have this little Rubbermaid carry caddy, just as neat as a pin in my bathroom. It's got all the parts I need to clean my bathroom in 3.5 minutes. Here's my bowl cleaner in a safe caddy with a little swab on it right there, ready to go. Here's my shower cleaner, all ready to go with a spray head. And here's my disinfectant cleaner that kills odors and does the cleaning. And, ladies and gentlemen, here's a squeegee. Yes, a squeegee. I'll show you what to do with that later. And here is a toilet toothbrush. Yes, a toilet toothbrush. Great tool. And one of my very favorite bathroom cleaning tools is the nylon scrub sponge. Now, notice this is white. It's not green, or it's not black, or it's not another color. It's white, which means it doesn't harm the porcelain on your sinks and your counters. Great tool to use. Then I have my little cleaning towel in case there's a spill. I have to polish and wipe up. And then if there's a ring in the toilet, I have a little pumice stone. And the last tool, the most important tool, is my little Rubbermaid scrubbing brush. And that doesn't beat up all your knuckles when you're scrubbing, and it really works. And this is your whole kit that the maids in a motel and hotel have. And I'm going to show you how to do a bathroom in 3.5 minutes. And folks, I know sometimes the outside of the toilet looks clean, but I tell you there's a lot of germs on there, and that's where smell comes through in a bathroom, from bacteria. If the bacteria is dead, no smell. We use a Quat disinfectant cleaner. You can buy a disinfectant cleaner, then we spray it. I just spray a slight mist all over your toilet. All down here where the men miss. You know, get that whole toilet. I mean, get it all done. And let it set just a second. It gives a little kill time. It'll kill all the germs. And then you use your white cloth, and you can wipe it. Now, you'll see the hotel people do this. They pull it off, and they really shine those toilets up nice. They lift the lid up. You get the underside of the lid, this side of the lid, that side. And basically, that's the way they clean their toilets. Perfect. It's fast. It just takes hardly any time. Now, on the inside, I told you this was the toothbrush for the toilet. I was right, because if you brush regularly, you won't get the setup, all that sediment that sets in your toilet, and you don't have to deep clean it. So every once in a while, sometimes 3 times a week, just get in there and scrub the toilet around like that, and you'll loosen everything, and you'll flush it. You'll be surprised how it will keep your toilet clean for a long, long time. Now, this toilet appears to be extremely clean inside, and nothing wrong, but I have a Johnny Lip light. Now, I know it looks like a dentist light, but hey, it's no different. We both work in enamels. It's the same thing. And look what we see under there when we go under there. Those little orifices underneath that thing, see how they filled up? We can get those off. And the way we get those off, we use a bowl cleaner. Now, get a caddy like this. Let's get your bowl cleaner. Now, this is not a janitor boutonniere like people think it is. This is a bowl brush, which is used for one thing. Don't pour your bowl cleaner in the water. You know how we do it? Glug, glug, glug. Instead, first is to hold it in your hand like this and go down your toilet like this and empty the toilet bowl. And you see what happens with that? I'm forcing all the water right out of the toilet. There it is. Now I'm ending up with totally with a bare bowl. You see that? Now all the stuff is empty, so I can do it. I take my bowl cleaner, put it off, and then instead of pouring it in big guzzles like people do, I pour just a little bowl cleaner, just a tidbit of bowl cleaner on that, and then I swab the toilet. See what I'm doing? And whammo! The stuff just falls out of there. I'm swabbing it. See, now this acid is made to eat up that calcium, and that's just what it'll do. It won't hurt your toilet. Clean 10 times as fast, 10 times as easy, and with a tenth the stuff. Okay, when I do that, I wait a while to give it time to eat it off, and then flush my toilet. There goes all the germs and all the crud. And while I do that, I rinse out my swab like this, and it cleans it out totally, and I squeeze it out. Now, you can use rubber gloves. Most of the chemicals are safe, but if you'd like to, you can also use rubber gloves on this. You shake it off, and in 2 minutes, your toilet is clean, and on to the sinks. Now, to clean your sinks in 30 seconds, here's another thing I learned from the hotel motel maids. That hair you always chase around, you finish, and always find it all over. Hey, the first thing they do is just get a little piece of toilet paper right here, off that, and wet it about half under there like that, and then they just wipe in the sink like that, and it just picks that stuff up just perfect, fast, toss it in the wastebasket, and it's gone. Now you're ready to clean the sink. I use my disinfectant cleaner, I use my little towel, I use my little scrubbing sponge, and I use my little Rubbermaid scrubbing brush. Ready to go, spray the whole sink. If you spray the whole sink with a Quat, what it does is kill all those germs, and it also loosens all the soap scum and everything else on your sink. Let it sit a minute. You can scrub that tops of those things just a little bit like that if there's any hand marks in there. And then my little white scrubbing sponge. The most wonderful thing cleaning sinks in the world. I can hit that just quick if you need it. And it has a sponge on the back side, so I turn on the water, squeeze it, and I just kind of wash all that scum and flush it all down. The whole sink's rinsed, washed, all the chemicals are off. Turn the water off, my towel, polish that top like that till it just shines. Doesn't that look great? Just makes your heart throb, doesn't it? and just cleans that sink, and instantly, like 25 seconds, the sink is clean, and we're ready for the shower. To clean the shower, we'll take it after we're through. There are three big areas in your shower that can really keep you on the run. The first one is mildew. Mildew's a growth. That stuff, you clean it off and it grows back. It's live spores. So to get rid of that stuff, so what we always found it to do is to spray it with a quat or a disinfectant cleaner and just let it sit there a while. Then use your little Rubbermaid scrubbing sponge. That loosens it up. See what happens? Give it a minute for some kill time, then take a cloth and you wipe it down. And it'll clean that mildew right off. It'll be off for a long time. Now, the important thing, when you finish, folks, be sure and do this, spray some more disinfectant cleaner where the mildew is growing. That leaves a base that they can't reproduce and they can't breed. Okay, the number two thing is hard water that gets in your shower. Boy, that's tough stuff. You know, it comes all the time. You try to get off and you scrub it and it gets in the grout. Okay, there's a thing called showers and stuff that you use on that, which is a mild phosphoric acid. Now, folks, this is really important in your shower. See that little nozzle? When that nozzle is tight, you send out a mist and you go, and you about die, okay? The reason you adjust that little nozzle like that is then you shoot a stream out. See what the stream does? And you shoot that stuff out and you let it go in your shower, and you'll notice it'll go down there and it'll eat all that calcium off. Won't hurt your tile, won't hurt your grout, just eats it off. Just really great. You might need your little Rubbermaid sponge on there to hit it a little bit, but then you can wipe it off, and I promise you your tile will be clean, it will be beautiful, it'll be great. Now the third one, and the greatest one of all, we use, not only for windows we use these, but we use them in showers also. After you finish, there's soap, scum, body oil, and hard water on there. You can take that squeegee and just in a minute you can go through that. And if people won't squeegee the shower, don't throw them a towel. I mean, make them squeegee their shower after they get through. You'll prevent more bathroom and shower cleaning with a simple squeegee than anything you can do. Let's go get some spot cleaning. This is called spot cleaning. This is my favorite. All I need is a cellulose cloth and some all-purpose cleaner and a spray bottle. You know, someone once said if there were more fingerprints on the walls at home, there'd be a lot less on the police blotters downtown. And I really believe that. It cleans off. Now, remember what I told you about the doorknobs, how bad they get? You know, where your hands get on the doorknobs? Man, a very unsanitary place. Look at that. That cloth just picks it right up and it polishes that doorknob. Think how clean your doorknobs are going to be to grab. And, you know, another thing, places your hands hit and your body leans on and everything that we can't see it, don't be fooled, because wherever spots can be, they're there. Just let it sit on a while and take your cloth and just clean places like this. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so you go on through, you go through your whole house, do that. Any place you see a spot, clean it. Like right here on the door, again, let it set, let the cleaner dissolve it. Take your wipes, wipe it off, wipe it clean. It's perfect. Let's go out and get where people see first. This is a spot everyone notices first. Let's give it a quick shot. First of all, let's get this mat out of the way. You're going to see the reason I love these angle brooms, these nylon brooms. All the bugs and all the insects and anything, the gravel, we'll kick them right out of the way. We sweep it. Folks, if you happen to notice there's any spots or anything on your concrete, all-purpose neutral cleaner like Spic and Spans. Remember we eliminate the stuff, we're dissolving it, and we're letting it saturate there. Then we're going to agitate it. Now again, to keep the knuckles from breaking up, those knuckles from just going, you can scrub that with this kind of brush. This is Rubbermaid scrub brush here. It's all off. To pick it up then, the last part in cleaning is remove. And you can remove all the soap and scum. Look at that. Perfectly clean. Touch everything up, put it back in your caddy, pull your mat back in place. And remember, folks, 75% of dirt that comes in your house comes in through the front door. Good mats, you'll prevent dirt from coming in. Almost a third of housework will be gone for good. Speaking of housework, let's get in and get the rest of it. Folks, your houses are made to live in, not live for. And if you can clean them faster, you're going to enjoy them so much better. And you can if you've got better equipment, better supplies, better tools, and a good attitude. Now, you've made tremendous progress in learning how to clean a house quicker, easier, better, and cheaper. And we're all done, and just in time. Here they come. Goodbye and good cleaning.